Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about two FIA statements that have been released following incidents during the Mexican Grand Prix. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content. Also make sure to follow me on X at James's Pit Lane, I'll leave a link in the description, but let's jump straight into the video. Now the two incidents in question happened right at the start of the Grand Prix and right at the end of the Grand Prix, and we'll start with what happened at the end on the penultimate lap. On lap 70, basically Carlos Sainz spun in the stadium section, and realising he was unable to continue, Sainz drove his Williams towards a gap in the barriers to make sure he was clear of the track. But despite Sainz appearing to be out the way, race control brought out the virtual safety car, and that ruined racing on that final lap. You know, you had Max Verstappen closing in on Charles Leclerc. I reckon he would have made a move on Leclerc going into turn one. There would have been a battle there, but we never got to see that. You also had Oscar Piastri closing in on Oliver Behrman. He may have made a move on Behrman, but we'll never know because a VSC was out. The VSC did come in midway through the final lap, but still by that point you can't really overtake from there. So the racing was done. And in my opinion, if Sainz had been beached at the side of the track, I could understand if a virtual safety car would be called, but Sainz managed to pull his car into a marshal's area. However, the FIA's explanation indicated that the recovery of Sainz's car was more complicated than it looked on TV, with an FIA spokesperson saying, as quoted by the race, Sainz's car came to a halt in an exposed position. The car subsequently began smoking, and race control received notifications of fire, making it clear that marshal intervention would be required for recovery. As is standard procedure when marshals are deployed to recover a car, the race is neutralised. In this case, a virtual safety car was triggered until the car was moved to a safe location behind the barriers. The VSC ended as soon as the car was in a protected position, and the race concluded under green flag conditions. Now, my opinion is that that section of the circuit could have been double waved yellow and then just let racing happen in other parts of the circuit. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But let's move on to what happened at the start of the Grand Prix, and this involved Liam Lawson. Basically, on the opening lap, Lawson was hit by Sainz, which necessitated a pit stop at the end of the first lap. But soon after, Lawson came out of the pits with warnings of debris on the track and double waved yellows at turn 1 to 3. He encountered two marshals running across the track on the exit of turn 1, and images show the marshals holding pieces of debris when Lawson, who was separated from the rest of the pack on account of his early stop, arrived on the scene. Now, this was not picked up on TV, but footage has emerged on social media, and it was really close. I can't believe marshals were on the circuit when Lawson was approaching there. That is just unbelievable. Firstly, the really good news is that nothing happened and everyone was okay, but why were marshals on the circuit when Lawson's coming around turn 1? And speaking about it from his point of view, Lawson said, as quoted by the race, "I honestly couldn't believe what I was seeing, but boxed and came out on a new set of hards, and then I got to turn 1 and there were two dudes just running across the track and I nearly hit one of them. It was so dangerous, and obviously there's been a miscommunication somewhere, but I've never experienced that before. I haven't really seen that in the past, so it's pretty unacceptable." And I agree, it is unacceptable. Those marshals should not have been on the circuit, and as I say, it still leaves the question, why were they on the circuit? Well, an FIA spokesperson explained that the marshals had been put on standby to retrieve debris on the track, but that it still did not have a clear answer as to why two of them were on the track, with the spokesperson saying, as quoted by the race, "Following a turn 1 incident, race control was informed that debris was present on the track at the apex of that corner. On lap 3, marshals were alerted and placed on standby to enter the track and recover the debris once all cars had passed turn 1. As soon as it became apparent that Lawson had pitted, the instructions to dispatch marshals were rescinded and a double yellow flag was shown in that area. We are still investigating what occurred after that point." And the race says it understands that FIA officials have talked to Lawson and apologised to him. Now, in its statement, the FIA also offered its support for the effort that volunteer marshals make, with the FIA going on to say, "Their professionalism and dedication are invaluable to every event we stage." But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care. Bye.